Okay, guys, so now there is some interesting tweets regarding Richard Heart wallet and some of the movements that the wallets have been making. And these are one of the most watched wallets out there. I mean, there are people who have taken it upon themselves to do all the on-chain analytics to find out which wallets are connected to Richard Heart and what these wallets are doing. So anytime he starts buying something, people start talking about it. And because of that, there is a tweet by Gunther that I want to read that I thought was really interesting and shed some light into this, right? I think our community should stop broadcasting buys by wallets owned by Richard Heart. Catch people off guard. Stop giving them intel. Furthermore, the PulseChain community should stop depending upon the founder to inject capital into the market, right? So this is the good old magic carpet ride that what happens when the founder just buys the coins that he likes. And Richard Heart had limited capital. It needs time to grow in value, and his role is only to stimulate the market. Now, I do think that the market must not depend on Richard Heart. I think the market needs to have other sources of bringing in, like high value investors or big whales who come in and buy, just like we had the God whale, and have other also new investors coming in. Now, the reason why I say this is because some of the behavior that we've had over the past 2 years have been really one of that kind of demoralize investors. And I think that's the wrong strategy, because what you end up having is the situation that I think we might be moving towards, is where you have a lot of disgruntled people and they end up treating some of those wallets as exit liquidity instead of looking for them as just stimulation, in the way that Gunther explains that what we need is just to stimulate, but we don't need to depend on it. Because if you look right now, what we have is, right, when the whole of crypto pumped like a few days ago, what happened was everything pumped. PulseChain had really weak price performance, but then some RH related wallets came in and then started buying up. They started buying up PulseX. So we had a huge pump with that PulseX buy. And then when we had this news about eHex, we also had a wallet come in and buy some of that pHex. And I think I do agree with the fact that it needs to stimulate, but it cannot be what everyone in the market is depending on, because that becomes a real big problem. So I do think that the attitude that we've had of when things get bad, people start pointing fingers and fighting. We start having some of that infighting, and a lot of people do get demoralized by this. A lot of people start to quit. So I think in the strategy, if we could shift the strategy and stop that, right? I mean, if you look at, we've been hit by several blows. I mean, truth be said, right? The first was the long wait of the PulseChain launch. That was really demoralizing for a lot of people. Then you had the launch come, and then you had it not perform as much as we would have expected. So then you had that. So we had all those things were kind of demoralizing, and kind of we were losing people in those events. Because what happens is, when things happen, you can see on chain if you're losing people. You can see people bridging out. And for example, what happened with eHex, we saw people move out of eHex, but we did not see them moving into pHex, right? So we see some people moving into other coins, because you can see all of the stuff on chain. So I think that it is important to not depend on RH, but it is also important to have a strategy that is more inviting to other people, that is more embracing to other people. Because I mean, look, I was surprised, right? Going online and you see now people attacking Somi, attacking him. And this is a guy who's been making content for PulseChain for a very, very long time. Now, this is not the first person who's been attacked by the PulseChain and X community. It's not the first person, right? People attacked a lot of people who actually came and added value. And I think that's the wrong strategy. We need to have a strategy that actually supports people, even people who want to build their own thing. Like the Hex community was the birth of the Zen community. We should have embraced them. That would have been a powerful partnership that would have grown and given us more users, but we chose the other way. So all in all, I do think that it's important that we don't depend on the sacrifice wallets. We don't depend on Richard Heart's funds for price appreciation, but we also understand that the only way this can grow is by attracting people. And the truth is that what drove the success of Hex is not what's going to drive the success of PulseChain and the entire ecosystem, because these are essentially two different products that win by different stuff happening. On PulseChain, you win by getting more people onboarded, you win by getting more projects launched, more viral projects, more projects that do 1000x. So it can't just be PulseChain is going to have great price performance. It has to be PulseChain ecosystem has great price performance too, because someone has to come for. Look, the one thing that's driving people to different projects is the potential for gains, right? Like right now, Solana is doing great things because what happens is that you have coins pumping on Solana. Dog with Hat is from Solana. Bome, I think, right? Something about memes. It's launched yesterday already on Binance, and it's doing thousands of percent in gains in 24 hours. Those are the reasons why people are jumping onto Solana. Solana is now the biggest winner so far of this rally. And that's because it's embracing every single person. So yes, must not depend on those wallets, but we should also understand that the one thing that we depend on might be the thing that many of us have fought against as maximalists, that we should start embracing and accepting that that's where the success lies. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. You agree, you disagree? Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time.